Hello ladies, good evening. The sun has been shining today. I am very happy about that. So hello any new ladies, my name is Stephanie. I am the coach curator of the Amazing Women Who Don't Drink group. So if you are new to the group, please watch the welcome video pinned to the top of the page. If you can't find it, give me a shout. I will tag you in it. So we have been doing 7 days alcohol free challenge. Which we're going to be doing from time to time, and we used to do quite a lot when this page first set up, so it's a really great way of getting lots of people started, but also if people are struggling, so you can do it at any stage of your journey. It really works in terms of accountability, but it really works even more if you do the tips and the tasks. Good evening Alexia, lovely to see you. So far I have asked you to watch the 4 Everything You Need to Know About Alcohol videos and cast your eyes over the checklist for taking a break, do your pros and cons of drinking, and also knowing your why. I know it sounds really silly, but how often do we sit down and really think about this? And that's part of what I do, is I take you through a process which helps you to make changes. Money, calories, units, and using them as a motivation can be really good. Just understanding how much you were drinking, how much you were spending, and also what that equates to in calories can be really useful. And then how we use that in terms of going forward, so if calories is a big motivator for you, how you then see alcohol as calories. So when you see a bottle of wine, you see 620 calories, whatever it is, and that can help you to just think, well, actually, do I want to consume 620 calories? I bet you don't. And that can help you to make the decision. So it's making it, what we're doing is I'm getting you to look at lots of different things that will help you to find the things that motivate you, to find the things that help you stay on track, to help you make the changes, to help you make happier, healthier choices. Okay, and today we've started talking about triggers and cravings. I'm going to do a bit more on cravings tomorrow as well, because this is a huge subject. Now, before I dive into this, triggers, I don't expect you, if you're really early days or even in the first year, really, to be honest, I don't expect you to know what all your triggers are. Okay, this is about learning. Sometimes as we go along, we learn about our triggers. Different things come up, and God, triggers are everywhere. I don't mean to sort of like scare you, but there are lots of triggers. I just need to get rid of the dog. Ruby, go in your bed. In your bed. She always wants to join in when I'm doing Facebook Lives. Maybe I should do a Facebook Live with Ruby. In your bed, Ruby. She's so naughty. She wants to join in. Okay, so triggers. A trigger is something, so something happens that triggers a memory. Now, most of us are not consciously aware of this process. And this is one of the amazing things about this journey. If you do really take some serious alcohol-free time and do some of the techniques and start slowing things down and becoming a bit more aware, a bit more present, then you start to notice these things a bit more. So it can be visual, it can be a sound, it can be a feeling, a smell, so these things are assault on our senses. These things are happening all the time, aren't they? Let's start with the visual ones, because that's usually the most common ones that we're not really thinking about. So ads, TV programs, that's the big one, films, just seeing it, having it around, being around it, watching people drink it, that type of stuff. Now, this isn't going to be the same for everyone, but if you are someone that notices, and I know this is the case for me, so for instance, I don't have alcohol in the house. I wouldn't. I'm not saying that I haven't. I definitely have had in the last 12 years, but it will be for things like Tia Maria for a tiramisu, for a birthday party, or maybe I'm throwing a party, so I would have alcohol in the house for that. But so it's in here for a special occasion, and that's it. It's gone, for the night. So that's my rule, and that works for me, so not having it around. But also what I really notice is, you know, if I'm watching a film or if I'm watching a series, I really notice if people are drinking. And I know I don't really watch TV programs, but I know there are quite a lot of TV programs where alcohol is a really big focus. And what can happen with this one is that you're seeing the glamorous side of it, which we know isn't real. So it's sort of permeating into our brain and confusing us, let alone all those years of habit and sort of social construct that goes with it as well. So visual triggers are out there too. Now, in terms of sort of what's brilliant about today is that we can control a lot of the information that we consume. So, you know, you can ban certain ads on Facebook. You know, you choose what you look at on the internet. You also choose what you watch on TV, you watch films, stuff like that. So one of the things I always encourage people to do, not just people who are struggling with booze, as a general rule actually, is think about the information you're consuming. You know, be a consumer of information that supports you, that motivates you. You know, I listen to podcasts and I listen to audiobooks because I like listening, and I listen to music, and I do watch certain films, but I'm very selective about the information that comes into my brain, okay? So be careful about the information you consume. You're never going to eliminate all the triggers. You're not, okay? Life's not like that. And this isn't about that. It's about early days, or if you're struggling, being aware and make it easy for you, okay? If you're aware, yes, you can eliminate some, but you're not going to eliminate all of them, okay? But we can make it easier on ourselves. People, places, feelings. So certain people will be triggers. You will probably be quite aware of this actually, because I see quite a lot of people talking about it. So there will be certain people that when you get together with, you want to party or you want to drink with. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're taking a break, or maybe if you've really got to take a break, it's really important, then it's thinking about how you're going to manage those relationships going forward. You know, it's absolutely okay to tell people what you're doing, you know, to explain. Say you have a drinking buddy, it's okay to say to your drinking buddy, you know, I'm going to take a few months off booze, but I'd still love to meet up, so can we have a coffee in the morning, or can we go for a dog walk, or let's go to a yoga class or something like that. You'll be surprised actually. I have probably half of my friendship group have really enjoyed doing different things with me, and actually feel quite relieved. One friend in particular, I know she loves doing different things with me, and actually we used to drink quite a lot together. So you might be surprised about that, but just be aware of people, and also places. Certain places might be a trigger for you, you know, different events, different family events, you know, but a lot of that is about feelings as well. So, as I've said, you're not going to be aware of all of this to start off with. This bit is about awareness, bringing it into awareness, you know, making a note of things that you know are triggers. That's great, do that. Then looking at it objectively and thinking, you know, which ones can I eliminate? Which ones can I avoid? You know, how can I help myself? Now, I don't want you to be a hermit. This isn't what this is about, okay? Now, there will be some extreme circumstances where people really, really feel like they need to make a complete break, and I totally get that, for health reasons, you know, where there's high risk, stuff like that. But for most people, this isn't about sitting at home and not doing anything, okay? It's about being aware and making it easier for yourself, okay? The other thing is about habit and time. So this is a really common one. So same as when we have to get up for a new job, say we have to set the alarm for 5 or 6 in the morning, and we're not used to doing that. You know, it only takes a few weeks before we're waking up at that time anyway. This is the same sort of thing. So if you're someone that works, or you know, or goes to college or anything like that, and you come home at the end of the day and your routine is to come home, you know, and open a bottle of wine, and that's habit, routine, times, things like that. So what you need to do is to think about, so your time and habit is a trigger there, okay? might even be stress, might even be tiredness. There might be quite a few triggers rolled up into that one. It's thinking about what can I do differently at that time, okay? So it is that simple. So for instance, if you can, not everybody can do this, if the after work is a thing for you, what can you do differently after work? There are 1,000,001 things you could be doing with your time rather than buying alcohol. I think I've mentioned this a few times, you know, if alcohol is your only solution to a problem, it's not a very good solution, and actually it's not very creative, and I expect better of you ladies, so I'm sure you can come up with a better solution for that. So habits, times, emotions. Now, as ladies, we are quite emotional, so sometimes it can be that actually when we're drinking it feels like an emotional roller coaster, and then we take a break and we feel better. Sometimes we don't feel better, and then we're left sort of dealing with emotions and not knowing how to cope with that. So learning how to be and work through our emotions can be quite a big part of the journey for some of us. I know it was for me. You know, I was highly emotional, I think it's fair to say, and there was a roller coaster of emotions, and actually that's something that I've done quite a lot of work on, okay? So it's sort of being aware of your emotions and your feelings, and then again it's thinking about what can you do with these emotions and feelings, okay? So the big thing is it's not going to kill you, the emotion isn't going to kill you, okay, whereas the alcohol will, and you know, everything will pass. They're the two things. So you can just sit with it, you can learn to sit with emotions, but you can also distract, which is early days, which I talk about quite a lot, and I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So early days distraction is a great technique for cravings and emotions. Really early days, I really noticed that tiredness was a big issue for me. Now, I didn't know that at the beginning. It wasn't until I sort of had a couple of big relapses, sort of quite a way into my journey, and I unpicked what was happening. Stress was a big factor. I did have a lot going on in my life, but tiredness, oh, there she is. She's desperate to get in on the act. Tiredness was a really big factor. So 12 years in, probably took me a good few years to realise this, but knowing that tiredness is one of my biggest triggers. It's taken me a while to learn that, okay? So you're not going to learn everything all in one go. So let's just recap. Triggers. If you know what your triggers are, write them down. If you don't worry about it. You will know what a few of them are. Look at them objectively. You know, can you come up with solutions for your triggers? You won't be able to for all of them. That's fine. Which ones can you eliminate? Which ones can you make easier on yourself? Which ones can you change? Which ones can you do something differently? You know, back to the habit and the time. Now, hopefully this will take down your list by about half and leave you with some others that, you know, you maybe a little bit of a challenge, but that's part of the journey, and you need to work on stuff, okay? So triggers, it's all about triggers. Let me just check, I've got some questions here. Hi Elise. So Elise says, what if you go into an environment which is going to have lots of booze and people that I think I only used to like when I was, yeah, okay. So that's it is a really difficult one. I tackle this quite a lot when we start talking about socialising on the coaching programme, and there is a blog on socialising as well. There's different aspects to socialising. I won't go into it too much now because that'll be another 15 minutes. But there are some situations that we can't avoid. Like we can, if it's really important, we can be very careful about environments that we're being in, but you don't have to be, you know, it's entirely up to you. But yes, sometimes we need to go into environments where you know, people are expecting us to drink, or there's going to be a lot of alcohol around. So it's just being aware of how you feel and having a plan. going late and being able to leave early is always really good. You know, this is going to sound terrible, but sometimes I've actually taken a book with me to read, so that if I need to, I can just go and nip off somewhere and have a quiet sort of 10 or 15 minutes to myself, you know, to sort of gather yourself, because sometimes it can be quite difficult. I like dancing and music, so being out, you know, if there's music and dancing, that's not an issue for me, because I will just dance. I will pretty much dance to anything, so I keep myself occupied. Knowing what you're going to drink and sticking to that, and also, you know, having your why ready and being okay with that. So, you know, early days, if it's easier, you know, having something like, I'm driving, I'm on medication, I want to lose weight, I've got a meeting in the morning, I'm training for an event. You know, there are a handful of whys that you can use that most people won't bat an eyelid at. You know, they'll just accept it. And a really, really good trick is, so if somebody offers you a drink and you say, I'll have a lime and soda, and they get funny with you and ask you why, and you say, well, I'm driving or I'm on medication, a really good tip is to then ask them a question. So actually you change the dynamic of the conversation. So whereas that can feel like they're leading the conversation, asking you questions that you really don't want to answer at that point, and actually you don't have to, okay? You do not have to explain yourself to anyone. I'm quite clear about this, until you're ready. And even then you don't have to, okay? It's your body, your choice. If you ask them a question, then you change the shift in the conversation. Now, most people like talking about themselves. So if you ask them a question, they'll start talking, and before you know it, the conversation's changed, and, you know, it just goes on like that. So that's a little tip there. Anyway, ladies, that's it for triggers this evening. I will see you soon, and we are taking sign-ups for the online coaching program. I'll put the link with this video for the next few days. There is a special offer, coupon code WWDD, which makes the program £30, because this is the first time I've put it out. That's why it's going out at quite a low price. And also I want to get everybody all in together in the secret group, and I will lead and we'll keep it accountable, so that we can all learn together. It'll probably take us about 4 or 5 weeks. So if you are really up for making some changes, sign up, and we'll start doing some work in the next couple of days. Any questions, please ask. See you soon.